Hi, it's Louise Loudspeka. I'm going live on behalf of For the Homeless. Girls Aloud is fundraising for Sierra Leone, an orphanage in Sierra Leone. There's been lots of other amazing performers throughout the afternoon, so I'm excited to take part. Yeah, I'm going live like a few minutes early, like because my set starts at 20 past, so I'm going live just a few minutes early so that people can share the page. So yeah, I'm excited about taking part. I really enjoyed taking part in this last time, so that's great. Yeah, and it's funny when you go live because you're reading the messages that are flashing up on the screen at the same time as performing, but that's just the way you roll, isn't it? Okay, I've got 3 minutes to faff. Okay, I'll tell you about the first track I'm going to do. Okay, it's based on the first chapter of this book called The Corporation, about how the corporation was outlawed for the first, how it was outlawed for 100 years until something called the Bubble Act was repealed. So my first track is going to be called Pandoras Bubble, and it's about the repeal of the Bubble Act that made the current corporation and corporate form legal. This book was written like 2006-ish, so quite a while ago, and in this book he goes through like the structure of the corporation and looks at how it's like a psychopathic institution. So that's like the dominant social institution of our time, like yeah, so 8 minutes, I've got to keep faffing. It's amazing how you've got 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, so the corporation looks at like these different elements of like what makes like a corporation psychopathic, and I think we think these institutions like the corporation and the nation state are inevitable social structures, but actually we can reimagine how the whole thing works because it affects so many of our lives, like the products we can buy and sell, and our working lives if loads of us are employed by public limited companies, and the structures that we're expected to organise ourselves in and the values that we're expected to organise ourselves in. I was part of a campaign group that campaigned for the legal accountability of like a corporate legal campaign, because historically corporations were always legally obliged to actually make money for their shareholders, and they couldn't make any sort of decision other than outside of that. So the corporate law reform bill, that did change a little bit of that it wasn't entirely illegal for them to act in that way, but the vast majority of the times they are expected to act for profit. So yeah, I've got 1 minute to go. Okay, here we go. This is Lauren Hill, not me, but she's great. I'm used to jumping straight into it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is Pandora's Bubble. Starting a minute early as a factor, that's not bad. Bubble Act repeal, Pandora's box and sealed. Protecting membrane first. Lid is off the mainframe, release the corporate curse. This was the beginning, things getting gradually worse. To the bankers, recent bailout, this law was a precursor. Accountability road is falling further and further down the hole with a grandfather clock. Power responsibility separated it, sealed it up. The whole world waits, debated breath. What will be the cost? You're trying to fathom out who really is the boss behind the green mask. A fundamental ask for international transactions tax. Global power, our hands lack. If banks and multinationals were fairly taxed, there'd be enough theoretical money to transact global welfare. Perhaps, or is it all a big international debt trap? Tax the banks, do we fear collapse? Do all politicians need to admit they feel that we have built a world far too complex to map? Input the output, what will the system bring back? How will our interconnected lives now react? The policy of integrity, yesterday they back. Face of complexity, use competence to act. We can get the bandage, we can trace it back. The first corporation, South Sea Company, point of fact. Called to account in Parliament, the executives were sacked. Face of complexity can be amassed. They do not add to the face of our humanity, they only subtract. International law against the power of contract. We need to end the international corporate hijack. We think the corporation localised, backtrack. And the international corporate hijack. We think the corporation localised, backtrack. Continue on with my pacifist attack. Arms to Saudi, on Yemen, yeah, down they crack. Roll a tank down your dirt track. Taxpayers bill, up they rock. End the international arms hijack. We think the tank localise, backtrack. And the international arms hijack, we think the tank localise, backtrack. Round and round, we unwrap to the trade round of the gap. Then years later, round WTO tables, corporate executive sack, putting money into Tea Party host hat, bring all the way to the back. Cheshire cap and the international trade hijack. We think trade laws localise, backtrack. And the international trade hijack. We think the WTO localise, backtrack. And the international pharmaceutical hijack, rethink trade laws localise, backtrack. Put end privatisation of the NHS from the dead, may not be coming back. We need to end privatisation, localise and backtrack. Bubble out, repeal Pandoras box and seal, protective membrane burst, lid is off the mainframe, it's released the corporate curse. This was the beginning of things getting gradually worse. So Pandora's Bubble, so as public accountability is eroded, as we kind of like have limited liability laws, it means that lots of the corporations aren't really accountable for their actions. And yeah, so that's kind of like quite an important piece, right? Yeah, now the next one, like another nice light-hearted number, gonna look at tax evasion. Should make it more seamless. We're going for it. Panama Pages. Panama Pages are taking more ages. They gave us raises and cages, no cages, raising wages. What do you need for oil and heat? Need more than a tweet. You're human life, you can't take us for cheap. Emergency and strike, the alarm's going deep. Tax loopholes are rife, you're so discreet. Your offshore accounts, justice, proceedings. House prices rising, they are getting steep. Cooperative buys, reclaim oppressed streets. Cooperate as allies, we do not compete in your sweepstake. Upstate, sweep until the seat. Breathing for survival, clean air doesn't stifle. Re-evolution, yeah, we upcycle. Search for freedom deep, you know. Crime, a lady justice giving fair warning, it is fine. Red, queer, levels Capitol Hill. Debt the unpaid bill, distortion, run to till. Know your rights, upskill, empire, no sequel. In exile from British Isles, go back to the extra mile we can chew a while. So let them eat cake, we will put you on trial, make you smile, sweeten up your got to take them life. Sugar and spice, not all things nice. Once written by sharp, three blind mice, roll the loaded dice. High price of life, with equal slice. The cake was rice, but the bread on ice, cause the wheels on ice. Stepping out into the arena, thinks that she's hidden, but you've already seen her getting to the point of the ballerina. We're never gonna be prima, but we're dancing free of ego schema to the lands that are greener. Phasing off the grid, they're gonna lock it. 1/8 per quaver, a quarter a crotchet, a stitching tie, 9 in the pocket. People before profit, planet before rocket. The solar space mission is to dock it with a welfare and tech, a David Cratchit. Indigenous removal, folklore, stamina, America and Canada, undivided algebra, unscramble Africa, the pharmaceuticals, extract with the spatula, chew riches and community, not for capita, paying with drugs, you bite like Dracula, overpricing is a silent massacre. When does compassion set the parameters for no borders traveller? Where does compassion set the parameters and no borders traveller? Okay, Panama Pages. That was an interesting time in our history if you Google Panama Pages. And all the interesting documents that were discovered in that time. Okay, so we're now going to go on to split infinity. Ooh, okay. Just going to have a quick tea break in a nice cup. And out like a cup of tea. I go northern when I get nervous. My friends have like a northometer for me to see how nervous I am at gigs, and if I end up in Iceland I can become Bjork if I'm extra nervous. Exciting times. Okay, here we go. Spit Infinity. Don't want to act to maximise my own utility. When you split the atom, you split infinity. Solo transcends the disintegrated symphony. That codependent dances in imperfect symmetry. Raise my kaleidoscope of infinite possibility. The land that lies before us, where the nation state chorus, the broken hearts of tribes, we are restorers. 'Cause the land of imagination, it has no borders. Divorce in hypnosis or disintegrate in catastrophe. I show anatomy, I've got my own anatomy, well adjusted to a sick society. Got no measure of hell, who will rescue me from the pit of stealth? I wanna speak from the fire from which I fell until the body valley was crushed by the money belt. It is self-fulfilling prophecy that won't make us suffer. Stop believing in a crisis, stop believing in each other. The love of community, it is our buffer. Getting further down the nuclear family that makes us into parts, then trades us into instruments, and then the system crazy dictators falling above and below the equator, then only being replaced by Western food come later. The state apparatus is there, creators of the nation state itself will become the debaters, exhibition of the alternative, the curators. 1884, 100 years before the place of Orwell, we saw this a Berlin conference. We are all appalled as across Africa Bismarck. His business mark was straw, but Berlin makes wars. A tendency to fall, the heavens are getting heavy, starting to shake. The stones are getting restless, they're beginning to quake. I stand beneath the Washington Monument, I watch it crack, I watch it break as they evacuate the Empire State. In the shadow and how we meditate, we will concentrate. We're ripping up the system's red tape on the chains of injustice. We will dance, we will celebrate. We're asking now for fresh start and a clean slate. Our heart is a palace from which we come. The land of imagination we long to recreate. We're asking now for fresh start and a clean slate. Our heart is a palace from which we came. The land of imagination we long to recreate. Okay, the land of the imagination we long to recreate. Yeah. Basically, nation states are not inevitable social structures, and in 1884 the Conference of Berlin, Bismarck and lots of other European countries met in a meeting, and they drew straight lines through entire tribal groups, and that like divides African tribes like with these lines and just the nation states. But Berlin makes walls with a tendency to fall, because the nation state and the corporation, neither social structure is inevitable. They've only been around for a relatively short period of time, and we're asked to kind of see all of our social exchange and interaction happening within these frameworks. And I think we need to go through a massive chrysalis of transformation to see other structures that we could live our lives in. So yeah, okay, cool. This is a very relevant one because pump and dump. Okay, so this is the last day to commemorate Trump being dumped. But I've got to say, I'm not overly confident that whoever's in power is going to be able to do much with the current nation state sort of like social structure. There are differences, but it's really quite complicated. So I'm not intending to be party political, but and I'm more concerned about how money is created and controlled. So this is actually a track about how money is created and controlled. But with Trump being dumped today, this pump and dump track has special relevance. Okay, peace. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, pump and dump. Why all of these awkward pauses, juggling all of the flying sources? My heart is attracted to all the good causes. Replay smashing seized by market forces. Economic gravity overseas, drowning human resources. Success demands thick-skinned disease, but mine is porous. It forces to root to a system that bores us. Smash it, do we get all of these applauses? I wanna last collect myself and go all in. A lot of smash fragments of myself, like that's a thing. projects fast, steadily moving and spinning, crash course crashed, flinging us back to beginning. I lost myself like losing a phone. Ding dong, error sound, gone under ringtone. Lost, never found, no song to sing alone. Whatever ground is down, wing it, but we properly thrown. Pump and dump, you got us in the books. Cough up your money in the frick, there's a link. We'll play your cards and we won't get trumped. We need a new algorithm, a pump, when crisscross the wires off the sleigh ship gonna jump. You create the money hit so far up your run. Don't think we can handle you, but dunk. Keep running on the banks, won't stop like Forrest Gump. Slavery under the name of stuff. Writings on the wall, come on, let's get theoretical resources. You amass filler, bashing bottom tight and fast. Fiat currency is gonna get slashed. You won't hold us into your overdraft. Pressure surge, get your mind in dispersion. Urge to have swag, but I'm left feeling so uncertain. Most the right skills for your currency conversion. Pioneer, you've got to become a company in a person. Emerged from the corporate beast, you went full immersion, but left in the lurch. The situation worsened, got a purge the system, cause I've got an aversion when my survival demands are like quite a burden. Wasteland of the heart, there is physically suburban. Get a ninja grip on nutrition or it's gonna be cursed. Pump and dump, you got us in the grubs. Cough up your money and your brick, there's a link. We'll play your cards and we won't get trumped. We need a new algorithm, a rumpa-pump-pump. When crisscross the wires off the sleigh ship gonna jump. You create money, living so far up your run. Don't think we can handle you, but dunk. Keep running on the banks, won't stop like Forrest Gump. Cause collective memories where you can find us. We won't forget the roots, the history of the miners. We won't get no Alzheimer's or the legacy that stands behind us. Conversation with all the long times. Baby boomers at the pit, the social climbers. You future alternative, we designers. Collective development, embrace beyond Steiners. All that energy with a full power rhymers. Privatise health and you won't rewind it. Trade deals, we are not the understanders. Motivation, and you got the new drivers. Yeah, we got it. Get in the flow of the river Thames, but the rivers of blood. How we gonna make amends? Scale is immense, paying the world's dividends. More to comprehend. How do we transcend? Pump and dump, you got us in the grubs. Cough up your money in your brick, there's a limp. We'll play your cards and we won't get trumped. We need a new algorithm, a rumpa-pump-pump. When crisscross the wires off the sleigh ship gonna jump. You create the money hit so far up your run. Don't think we can handle you, but dunk. Keep running on the banks, won't stop like Forrest Gump. Money is created by private banks in hidden places, and they're very anal about making the process transparent and accountable, and that's never good. Okay, so that was about currency speculation and the way that money is created and controlled. I'm part of a group called Break the Code, and we've got these little things called discredit cards. And what they're doing is they're like not credit cards, but they're discrediting the way that money is created and controlled through debt. And all the maths can't possibly add up, especially right now. So we're asking to people to write an ode to the bank, like a poem, ode to the bank. And every poem is a creative petition about debt, money and banking, and how debt, student debt, mortgages, and how the whole system is working. We're collecting them on heart-shaped bunting, and we're collecting videos as well as part of a petition. So yeah, Break the Code. We're also a music collective with other artists and activists, so check out our page as well. I'm Loudspeka, spelled a bit weird, but I've managed to somehow get it up on my laptop. How exciting, and appear to be going a little northern again. Northern, have a cup of Yorkshire tea, but mainly please gravitate towards fair trade and plastic-free tea bags. Random tangent. Okay, just gonna have talk among yourselves. Okay, here we go. Okay, we are now going to have some drum and bass. This is a track I kind of made. I love drum and bass. I just wish I could be faster. But yes, here we go. How it starts. Won't be stuck in a non-starter with reality, yeah, I'm gonna barter. I can't keep making myself a martyr. Justice for feeling sicky, scratching knees, I really could be standing here. It's so risky, swirling cycles, spitting dizzy. Ages old, they're getting glitchy, move my feet, they're sweating itchy. Live in the moment, get more of a blast in our life, others that don't get to cast, and their time speeds up and it goes far too fast. In our life, others that don't get to cast, and their time speeds up and goes far too fast. Looking for small signs, I'm on the right path. The equations add up if I do the math. How much progress, good enough at my craft. Be my own personal trainer, take myself to task. Can't get enough air in my lungs, so I gasp. I feel the sunlight and I let myself bask on our treasure chest. A really tight class, so many 72, so you're not alone to ask. Live in the moment, get more of a blast in your life, others that don't get to cast, and the time speeds up and goes far too fast. Test for the gifted, blessed, the unscripted, committed to the sweat. They sold me a ticket. Is it that the spirit? We don't cross the picket. I hate it when we feel invaded, when we're divided. Can't rework the history of a past. Live in the moment and get more of a blast in your life, others that don't get to cast, and the tide speeds up and goes far too fast. Won't be stuck in a non-starter with reality, yes we're gonna barter. Can't keep making myself a martyr. Justice for poets, here is our charter. Undulating through all these poles, fluctuating, it's just how I roll. Suffocating in cruise control, culminating in being let out on parole. Too much sugar, feeling sicky, scratching me, I really could be standing here. Also risky, swirling cycles, spitting dizzy. Notice how they're getting glitchy, move up, they're sweating itchy. Okay, yeah, that was Post Charter. Big up Roger Nell, who usually DJs with me while I'm MCing. He's on the comments. Yeah, say hello if you're my friend and you're on the comments. It's nice to know who's watching. Yeah, you learn a lot, because through DJing on my own in isolation, I underestimated the role of the DJ, so pick them all up. But I do want to learn more. But yeah, it's nice being part of crews, so everybody still stay connected over Zoom and keep the community spirit high, and that's what I love about Girls Aloud and Print for the Homeless. There's so many messages of solidarity going all the time. Whenever I'm on my phone, I can see loads of messages going between that group, and there's so much solidarity, so that's just so great. All right, yeah, Post Charter. Okay, boom. Right, I think my time, I don't know if I'm 20 minutes or 25. This is where slight technical hitch, so I'm just gonna go check that, double check my timings. 1 second, everything's so seamless. Let me see how I can see that, sorry. I'm just double checking what time I've got. Sorry about this. This doesn't usually happen. I prepared more in advance this time, and that actually disorientates me a little. Okay, yes, I've got another 20 minutes, so I'm all good. I'm all good to keep going. Exciting times. Till 9:50. Dun, dun, dun. Everything's so seamless. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we've got a time for this little interlude.
Let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. The world is waking up.
I love this one.
And change is coming, whether you like it or not. Right here, right now, 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 right here, right now.
Okay, this is where you miscommunicate, isn't it? Okay, yeah, right, now I'm going to do another one called Windmill, which is about fire and the planet.
The world is is waking up. And change is coming, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Okay, this is called Windmills Turned Lighthouses. Okay. Yeah, I've got 8 minutes. Thank you, Roger. Thanks for the announcement. Sounds fun. Spin, get to spin, smoke of bees, windmills, wings, swinging dandelions, seeds, changes wind, whirling bass line, yellow hum, hum, hum. Deep as the deep buried in the field of dreams. Turning, the tables are turning, the lands are crying through global sound system. Rewiring wires and breaking what they're dead knocking, faster than the windmill blades are tick-tocking, quicker than a drummer bass track kicks inside out, waters rising in the global think tank, becoming splittered with a faulty colour, throw me over at my rubber wheel, quiver, sinking, circular breaker, get it better, kick in, it's our only solution against electrocution. Only solution against electrocution. Contributory stole from yesterday, today, tomorrow, borrowed and returned, and learned history map and tracked oil pipe fitted to the main supply, the demand and the high graph, and it's tainted our hands and it's stained our seat to round the plug hole, the bloody extremes, to rivers, to shores of free trade zones, where we still demand more. FTZ, we recoil that phrase, yet inside our head it's freedom to exploit, not to be unexploited. The only freedom is stand up and meet those quotas. The spot of slavery, yeah, it isn't as big, but we never unblock those pores. Now we can't cover it up with what lays behind the cabinet doors. Building bricks, yeah, really they're a house of twigs and sticks and stones. They may break my bones, but your unspoken words don't seem to ever free me. And I wonder. Can you really see me buried beneath the biased tapestry of your empires? History with blood-based systems, arteries, filled with oil and fat, beneath the earth, heart disease, breathing up those earth. Send a baseline reverb on these nervous streets. Soundwave safe break over the continent. What the hope fragments. Hurricanes and floods bring the sound effects. Nearer, 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 nearer to the northern hemisphere. To the northern hemisphere, fear. Push up their ego, fragments on our cobbled together streets. Hard to take our stand on our foundation. And these bloodshot weather warnings on endless loop repeat. What is hurricanes? Yes, climate change. 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 Change cracks and fractures. Morse code message and translate to nation state. Anger makes our transmission crackle, crackle, crackle on the tackle. Head on side and back on. Let's crack on. Create many sequences, transmitting many frequencies for the airwaves with our sound waves. Aspirations miss on reality's rising tide. Water lapping, content lapping is our daughters. The harvest is our seeds, raising trees with wheat. Curses that crush through the pressure's feet. In tomorrow's windmills turned lighthouse where we can't go. No, we can't go. In our wildest, 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 wildest dreams. So windmills turned lighthouses. About climate change. But I think we need a lot of whole restructuring of our economy, so it's quite hard to ask the government to change the climate change because I don't trust them for the solutions, quite frankly. So I think we need to restructure the whole way the economy works. I don't think there's any easy policy solutions on this one, and nothing highlights that more than the class tension in the climate movement. Well, yeah, how you I do think we need to change the economics. That's not easy, so big up to all the alternative thinkers, but we've got to do something, so better to say something or do something, but it's a complicated one, isn't it? Anyway, this is my faffy. I'm a factivist, so I faff over activism. This is a really vital issue that's been faffed over for many years, isn't it? Okay, right, I'm going to do an acapella one as I'm on my outro now. It might get speeded up. Okay, this is the Pacifist Attack. To the media portrayal, the pacifist warriors are standing in sharp contrast, and our arms are full of flowers to launch our pacifist attack as we look to our target and we trace it back. In our court, the bankers, they would get no reprieve. They'd be called into account and restore to humanity what they have thieved, and the debts of the poorest would be relieved, because that year of Jubilee we campaigned for 20 years ago still has not been achieved. And we're angry about what we have been led to believe, because to money creation, yes, we've all been naive. So we're on the streets raising a shout, restore money creation, make a down count before the bottom of the system all falls out. Our national teapot was standing tall and stout. The cuts and austerity picked us up and then it poured us out. And even as the cuts leave a nation in drought and COVID leaves a nation in drought, we couldn't leave the bankers of London without their 2 to infinity bonus amounts. They're in their sports cars and they're driving about. Ireland saw a loophole they could not discount. They wrote a letter with the detail, the agreements left out. Now the bankers of Ireland can do without. But in England, oh no, yes. We've always been so much more clever. The government and the bankers are simply birds of a feather, but you can't hold the nation to ransom as your debtor just because you and the bankers went to university together. Oh boys, have we got news for you? Part of many a merry activist crew, and in that road that your sports car is passing through, there's an ambush laying waiting for you. Now the system is a carriage designed to protect you against any stock market crashes in your revenue, but with the bow and arrow of love the artist drew, it's coming straight for your windshield, and it's shattering your perspective of view, and it's going to pierce your airbag right through until it gets to your conscience and it turns it black and blue. So leave the system at the junction of integrity. It's what we now recommend that you do, or step away from the vehicle, hands on the head. The spirit is going to stop and search you, and the pockets of your soul the divine will be going through, because the conviction of conscience is going to get you, not all my pacifist ammunition or the flowers that I threw. In my book, it's a prize bonus balls up. The banking system is a volcanic glory, it's about to erupt. All the bankers' balls are everywhere, all our numbers are up. You've put bonds into our birth certificates, into the nation state model, our whole lives, lottery tickets. We are vastly concluding we are in the wrong syndicate, and your national secret's very well kept. The creation of this legal person we do not accept. The worst form of identity theft as you watch you play Russian roulette. Into bonded work across the board, the fragments of our souls were swept, and in your hands our hours were kept. But embracing our true value, yes, it has effects. Your game, we can and we will offset, because the bullied of the world are now standing up for their self-respect. Okay, thanks. I've been Louise Loudspeka, funny spelling. Please donate, please support the orphanage in Sierra Leone. There's loads of fundraising links on the event page, and I'll put them on my page as well. So solidarity, hope the rest of the night goes well, and I've really enjoyed taking part, and yeah, big up to all the other performers. Okay, and it's going on till midnight, so keep watching. Thanks.